welcome to Share the Love Sundays, where we are so excited today because we're sitting down with Sean from the Simsational Gent. Hi, Sean.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
We're good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Perfect.
Got all these lights in my face, you know. My makeup person hasn't come over yet. I'm a little shiny this morning, a little shiny.
No, you're looking good. The lighting's fantastic. We're the same every morning.
I know, yeah. Okay, so let's start it off, Sean. Can you tell everyone what your channel is and what it's about and why you set it up?
Absolutely. So my channel is the Simsational Gent, and wow, it's twofold on why I set it up. I mean, one of recent is that I was in the military, and now that I'm out, I did engineering as a profession. And so this is the first time in my life that I get to be more creative with what I do. And I, that's both sides of me, analyzing stuff, but also being artistic. And so embarrassingly, when I was younger, we had a VCR and we had like the camera, and the cord was only like 3 feet. So I would record all of these little shows and different things. And right before I joined the military, I even tried out for sketch comedy. And that was terrible. That went terrible. I'm just.
Oh, really? I'm sure you're just being modest.
It went pretty bad. It went pretty bad. I mean, so the Simsational Gent was an idea. I was actually going to do like a fitness page at first, but as you all know, that when you're on YouTube, you have to figure out what's your lane, and what, or at least you have to know who your audience is. So when I thought about it, there are a lot of I got frustrated. I'm frustrated with like dating and different things that's going on. And you don't have to be dating, relationships too, right? Like, so there's things that I saw was going on, and I could see a need that men need to kind of hear certain things in a way that would, I don't know. I just feel like it's really toxic right now in the dating scene. Mm. And so the way I wanted to approach it was to say, let's work on ourselves first. Because once you work on yourselves, you know what you want. You know what you can expect. And in that case, so that's what the Simsational Gent came about. Now, that's the way it started, okay?
Right.
So, and prior to this, I actually had a website where I wrote articles, and it wasn't just for guys, it was for everyone, right? But I learned that people really say they want positive stuff, but what does everyone look at? TikTok, Instagram, and embarrassingly, I posted something positive, a lot of positive stuff, and you had a few people that's like, yeah, keep that going. But the video that got the most views on my Instagram was when I went out one night, and embarrassingly, there was a little person dancing on a girl, and that got the most views. And then I realized, as much as people, I'm here in Vegas, everybody. So you're going to see
everything happens.
You're going to see some crazy stuff. Okay. So when everyone liked that video more than all the positive stuff I put out, that kind of influenced where I'm at now with the Simsational Gent. So now the original idea was to have characters to relay the same messages, talking about dating and relationships and stuff like that. And so I didn't have the technical means to be able to pull it off when I first started this show. And now that, my computer is upgraded, slowly upgrading everything, now I'm able to do things with the camera and video and editing that I didn't know and have the knowledge to do to pull off what I'm doing now. So now I have personalities on the show that
are you even going to stop by later?
I think Mr. Johnson will stop by for a little bit. Yes. Mr. Johnson is everybody's favorite, so you all know.
Yeah. Okay. towards the end, everyone, to keep
Yes,
you
towards-
watching,
Yeah,
Mr. Johnson
gonna
is
be
going to make an appearance.
I think I'm going to be really starstruck when Mr. Johnson comes on. I'm
too.
going to get all tongue-tied and awkward.
Yeah, he's interesting. You know, it's something else when your mom writes into your show.
I love that.
And
So who's he based on, Sean? Is he based on somebody in real life?
actually, not a particular person, more of like an ideal. So growing up in New Orleans, there's a lot of characters there too, and
Yeah.
but they have like a flavor to them, you know, and I can't really explain it. You just have to be in that culture to know that it was the older gentleman that like, come on, boy, come here, let me talk to you real quick. You sit down right there, you're gonna listen real quick. And you're like, I don't want to listen. And you're like, you're gonna listen, right? And so you'd sit here and get all this knowledge. And whether or not it's good or bad knowledge,
Yeah.
that's irrelevant because it's I feel like you can learn from good and bad, right? You know, too many people dismiss people because they say, well, what are you going to teach me? You know, you can see someone down in the dumps and you're like, what are you going to teach me? And really you can look at their example and listen what they're saying. And you can say, well, if I made that same choice, I might be right where they're at, you know?
Yeah.
So Mr. Johnson is an ideal where he's that person that sat you down and it's like, hey, you gonna listen real quick, you know, let me tell you something.
That's awesome. Is there a little bit of you in all your characters, or do you keep them very separate from your own personality?
I think that's all the voices in my head talking out loud on camera. So I was talking to my daughter about it, and what she said was, she's like, I'm afraid you're gonna end up like Mr. Johnson. And I'm like, I'm probably not. She was like, no, you're probably one day gonna start talking like that and just never stop.
The character will take over.
Yeah, it's like that's gonna be you as an old man. You're gonna just hit character one day and just never leave it, you know. And that sounds feasible. That sounds about right.
Amazing.
So Sean, you know, your channel is primarily for men, you know, giving them advice, dating, relationships, fitness. What is out there for us girls? We think a lot.
Yeah.
What do you tell our viewers?
Well, you know, honestly, like if you think about it really, right? Go to your normal networks, right? You have, you know, shows like The View, and then you have Oprah's show. Like women have had a staple for shows for the longest. But if you go and look at it, there's no real show for guys to talk about men's issues and stuff like that. And so even on the channel, I did an episode about men's health, right? My mental health, right? I catch anxiety and panic attacks and stuff. And that's something that developed while I was in the military, right? Something I'm going to have to deal with. And so, you know, I wanted the show to be able to go and talk about those things. But as you all know, you know, if you start branching out too far from one thing, then what happens is you start losing your audience. Well, I'm here to listen to this, and I'm here to listen to that. So, you know, let's say I talk about, let's just say video games. I'll just use that one, right? So you know, your channel's about video games, and all of a sudden now you're talking about bowling. Well, you're going to lose your audience, right? So the characters on the show now, once it builds up enough, will allow me to be able to branch out and talk about a bunch of different things, and not just men's issues, but everything, right? And it's because eventually people will start coming there to see the characters, right? So when the characters, they can discuss anything at that point, but I'm not there yet. So this is something I've only changed with them the last month, I believe. So
I love how the characters, you know, can give a depth to it, and you say things that you as you may not be able to say. And then you come in and kind of, you know, give a more sort of in-depth sort of serious approach
the different
to it.
perspectives. It's really interesting. I'm
saying that actually is what I love about it, right? It's a lot of work now, right? But the thing is, you're right. You have all this breadth of experience, right? Various age groups within there. I serve as the moderator. I try to bring things back to center. And then so every character is starting to have their own little defined role on this show. And that's beautiful, because now when I write, I just wrote a script last night, which I don't know if I'm going to do that show next, but that would be the next show. And what's the title? Men and Women Can't Be Friends is the next show, maybe the next show.
Good topic.
Yes.
Right. So as I don't just do a show and I don't just put out information because it's something that Sean thinks, right? I also do my research, and and I'll look at multiple various sources in order to try to shape something. And so I think this next one is going to be pretty interesting, because when I was looking through the different views, I was like, oh man, Sean alone could not tackle that topic, right?
Yeah.
So I need these characters to be who they are and discuss it in a way that's frank enough that we can have a discussion, right, amongst each other. Whether you like a character, what they say or not, is irrelevant. The thing is, right now, we need to get back to the point where we can foster dialogue, where everyone can talk about something and people don't get in their feelings right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So true.
So true. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's something that we're losing nowadays, the ability to talk and discuss and to actually have a conversation with people with different opinions from us.
Yeah, without getting into horrible argument and people, getting offended. I mean, I think you're going about it in such a great way.
It's such an interesting way to tackle the topic.
I know, and it's funny as well at times, really funny.
Yeah.
I just crack it up and laughing. Some of the things they come out with your characters, and you can see the serious side of it. But it kind of lightens the mood, and maybe men in particular, need that approach. So it's not like you're preaching to them and just telling them what they should be doing. It's a different approach, which I think is, certainly more entertaining.
Right. And listen, there's a whole bunch of videos on the channel now, or most of the channel are videos that I already made on topics. Yes. And so that's still good information. I tried to throw some humor here and there, and some topics I just started speaking. So, so there is a lot now that I feel that I can do to bring the same message to everyone, but with the characters, it allows it to be right. It's supposed to be funny, but the message is embedded in there because of what I've learned from watching the little person dancing on the girl in the club.
Yeah.
Because of that. Yeah.
And
that was such a profound moment for you.
Oh, it was very profound, because when I said dancing, it was pretty provocative. I'm just going to say she had to bend down.
Everyone should check that out. Yeah.
Yes, my Instagram. That's not even my show's Instagram. Like, that's my personal one, and that one has the video.
We're all heading there, actually.
Oh my God. So I just. The other thing is, the other part, and I didn't say this earlier, the Simsational Gent came about also, at least the way it is in its current form, is because a buddy of mine was saying, he was like, people just really could use a laugh nowadays.
Absolutely.
More than ever.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I'm like, what do? I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do, I've noticed that I have all these shows backlogged in my queue on Netflix, right? Yeah. And the ones I watch are the comedies.
Yeah,
that's interesting, Sean. We'll check in with the chat, because I can see one of the comments relates kind of to that.
Let's say hi to everyone. Yeah. Dad's here. Hello, Dad. And Roger's just over there, but he's also in the chat. Hi, Robert.
Hey, Rog.
Hello, he's waving. TT Burger 88. Hi, Tony. Thanks for coming. Tony. And Nomadic Trio. Hey guys.
Hi,
Thank you, everyone.
Matt,
don't be shy. If you have a question, pop it in the chat. And I can see Dad has a question for you, Sean.
Okay.
He says, have you had to adapt your channel as a result of the COVID pandemic?
That's a great question. I don't think well, yes and no. For the most part, no. I mean, this stuff is still pretty basic, right? That I speak about on this show. I think that where the adaptation to COVID comes is, well, people aren't out doing certain things as much, right? People aren't like interacting the same way. So some of the topics may not necessarily hit home. So I try to make sure I balance it, because I realize there's a really a good portion of my crowd that are in relationships or dating or married or something like that. And I had to come to that realization too. You know, a lot of people are already kind of like, that's watching my show, already kind of coupled up already. So so when I started seeing that, I was like, okay, I gotta make this episode now toward my, you know, toward those people, or I have to at least put a plug in there like, hey, this is for you too. So so that's the adaptation. But people aren't out as much doing those things, those interactions that would be normal to human discourse, especially when you talk about dating and relationships. A lot of things have gone to online. You know, people are having online dates. You know, let's have our Zoom date. Okay, you know.
Get the
imagine
wine.
I have your wine, and can you smell the risotto? Can you smell it?
Trying our best to make things normal.
So that's where.
Sorry.
No, so that's where the adaptation comes for me. I mean, just and that's why, like, eventually, again, once the show builds up based on the characters, once people come there for that, I think that then I think there's no limitations, because I'll be able to talk about pretty much anything. You're there to see. You're there to see how they're going to react to whatever, right? So
Oh, that's interesting. They'll come for the characters, and then the topic can kind of be up to you.
Right, and that allows me to go out a little bit more broader with my audience while niche down to the characters, right?
So Sean, have you
this smoothie is really good, by the way, so you're going to see me go back and forth.
What is it?
So I usually make fruit or vegetable smoothie every morning. It's like my breakfast. So, well, one of my breakfasts. I eat a lot of food.
Very healthy.
I was going to say, you're a super fit guy. How important is diet?
I won't call it super fit. Hold up. It's a little strong. So that's why I didn't start my fitness channel, because my philosophy is I can tell you how to gain weight and I can tell you how to lose weight. And I diet, but I don't diet, because there's a certain point where, what am I trying to get these abs for other than to show off, right? I mean, hear me out. Like, why would I do that? You know how much work it takes to get abs? Like, I have abs, but there's like a little small kid kind of covering them right now, because I've gained a lot of weight since COVID started. So
I hear that. People are in the same place.
So I just have a philosophy where, listen, I don't want to regret anything. So you shouldn't, unless you're in a real competition or you're training for fighting, or, you know, you just want to look at yourself and see washboard abs in the mirror. I'm not eating for that. I'm eating to get bigger, but also to, like, because I like food. So I want to taste something good. So there's a balance. So, like, you know, I have my smoothie, and I, you know, like, sometime for lunch I'll just do salmon and you know, some type of vegetable and rice and stuff like that. So there are times I eat healthy, but I wolfed down a whole large pizza the other night. So I'm
you got to, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to have that balance.
Yeah, a little of what you fancy. Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't call that balance. I would say I pretty much put a dent in my couch that night, you know, so. Scale just pegged. So.
We checking out the chat, Lucy?
I was just going to say, there's some lovely comments for you, Sean.
Okay.
Cam says, thanks for delivering high quality laughs.
Oh, thank you. You're making me blush. You can't see it in this light, because I have a Wish camera, so it's like you can't see it. But once we're going to upgrade. We're going to upgrade one day. Don't worry about it.
We'll get you back on for another interview, and then we can compare.
Yeah.
When my camera is high quality, we'll see.
And
Thank you.
Tony says, hi Lucy, hi everyone, good to be here on this Sunday off from work. Very nice.
Yes, nice to
congratulations.
Chill out.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And Cam says, at least when you break out of the good stuff on Zoom, at least when you break out the good stuff on Zoom, you get to enjoy it all. Yeah, that's true. That's about the dating and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
One of the things I do like, and you've been able to do it once or twice or so, is to, when you go out on the strip and you interview some of the girls.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
that's really interesting, because they've got some interesting opinions.
That was
dating and relationships and what guys should do and shouldn't do, what turns them off.
Right. Yeah, that was the first time I've done that. I don't want to stop doing that. But I am in COVID. We are in COVID still. So it's kind of like, once I start cases going up, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to cut back on this interview thing for a little bit.
Yes.
And Vegas is in the desert. So if let me just give y'all, paint the picture real quick of this dynamic. You don't think of it as cold as necessarily like northern states, but because it's the desert, the temperature swings between day and night is so severe. Yeah. You know,
we hear you. We're in
Arizona, so you know exactly that swing between
freezing overnight and in the morning. Yeah.
So when I talk to Alexa, I can say it. Okay, she won't answer. Okay, so when you talk to Alexa, she tells you the temperature. She's like, yeah, you know, today is, right now it's 50 something degrees, and tonight it's gonna be 28. I'm like, 28? How did we get from 30 degrees swing? You know, like,
that's right. It's really hard to know what to wear when you go out.
I know, you have layers. I think layers, you know, to put on, to take off. Yeah, because the temperature changes hour by hour in the winter, doesn't it? In the desert. Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. Yeah. Yes. And that's what I got told when I moved here originally. My uncle was here, and the one thing he said was, he was like, yeah, just kind of bring a jacket. I'm like, it's hot right now. He's like, you want to bring that jacket?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's not
they don't realize, they think it's hot all the time, don't they? And they get a nasty shock when in the winter it gets a bit chilly.
It can get below freezing.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some new people in the chat, Lucy.
Hi, everyone. Hey, stop it. Hi, welcome. Say hi, this is our first time joining your live.
Oh, welcome. Yeah.
Welcome. I'm so glad I had the chance to catch this. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, awesome. And hi, Angela.
Hello, Angela, from My Take on Home and Garden. Thank you ever so much for coming. If anyone has a question for Sean as we go through, pop it in the chat and we'll check in with you guys.
And if you're enjoying it, please give us a like. That would be wonderful. But yeah, love to hear from you too. Any question for Sean, he will answer.
Yes.
No pressure, Sean.
Yes. I told you, very, very, the anxiety I had prior to coming on, I'm always, every time I get on, before I go on camera, I'm talking about filming in my own home with no one around. Anxiety. Once the camera is on, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. It calmed down.
Yeah, exactly. We're the same, but I think you need a bit of that really to sort of, if you're too laid back, you know, I don't know. I think maybe it's good for you. I mean, you know you guys have both performed on stage. Have you performed on stage in front of a camera to a live audience? I mean, that's really scary.
I when I was younger, I did a lot of drama stuff where I would like, you know, perform or do stage stuff, but it was the same thing. But I've also, this was a long time ago, but I've also, like, I used to deliver sermons in churches and stuff. And then as I was an engineering instructor, so you know, I have to be able to get up in front of people. My whole Navy career pretty much set me up for being in front of people in large groups and speaking. And not just that, but even prior to that. So it's not a thing once I'm in the situation, but getting there, yes. So, I mean, for anyone that's listening right now, you know, if everyone's going to be in a situation, most people will be in a situation where they have to get in front of people and say something at some point. And the way I do it is just be prepared, right? You all are asking me questions about things I know about. So I don't have anxiety in that because I don't have anything to hide or anything like that, right? So
it's nice that you can be that authentic in like a live situation, because like a lot of the time I know from my experience, it feels like you have to like put on a personality or like, you know, be more entertaining than normal.
This is who I am. I'm everything you all have seen today. This is the way I act. If you were to hang with me normally, like, I'll be serious, I'll be goofy and silly, I'll tell you some stuff, I'll sit back and listen. Okay. So
yeah, that's really nice. And I think that's important for YouTube actually, because you know, so much like, you know, in the nicest possible way, fake out there, and that works for some people maybe, but if you've got to do this for a long time, it must be very hard to keep up that facade.
Must be.
I was thinking that too. There's some other channels, bigger channels, Roberto Blake and stuff like that, who talks about how to grow your YouTube and stuff. And I think about all the years those guys put into it, and you wonder, how do they keep that going? Because there's a couple of days, and you all may have felt you're like, I do not feel like doing this, but and it's not because we don't. It's because we value our viewers that we're like, you know what, I owe it to them to get up and do this, right? So
yeah,
and that's the way I feel about it. But there are some days where it's tough, you know, like you might look and a video has only a few views and you're like, oh my God, no one knows me.
No, we're on our way out. Not anymore. Yeah, I know. It's you can't help looking at those numbers all the time. You think it's not about numbers, but you can't help yourself, you know. And when one of your videos goes kind of almost viral, you know, for your channel, it's so exciting.
Yeah,
can't deny. Absolutely.
I think it's all right to get excited about it. I was talking to my husband about this the other day, and he was talking about the ups and downs of YouTube, and I was like, it's okay. Like, you've put a lot of work in. People are looking. People are
you're
talking
invested,
about it.
aren't you? Yeah.
It's all right to get really excited.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question for you all.
Okay.
Would you all rather like a video blows up overnight and your success blows up overnight, or would you rather maybe a more, because we all want to like move at a faster pace, obviously, right? Yeah. But would you rather that gradual climb, or would you like that exponential climb?
I would definitely like the gradual, speaking for myself, because I think you learn so much from when you begin and how you grow. And I think it would be wonderful to have people that come on that journey with you, and then you gradually expand. Because I think when you first start, you know, things are not quite right, maybe, and you do change direction slightly. Yeah. And I think if you suddenly, you know, blow up overnight, and then you think, well, actually, this isn't what I want to do, you'd be so fearful of losing those subscribers. What do you think, Lucy?
Well, my ego is going blow up overnight. Blow up.
I knew that.
But no,
mine does that a little bit too, just so you know.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm
not gonna lie. Like part of me would want that. That's genuinely it. But I think you're right, Mum. I think looking at it from a level-headed perspective, it is better to have that gradual build, because you learn skills, you get better, you can build your channel, like you say, all of that stuff.
And I think you get to know other YouTubers more, because
we wouldn't have had this journey.
We wouldn't have had this journey. And, you know, talking to you and the people in the chat there, and, you know, the groups, the Facebook groups, and they're so supportive. I think we might have got some chat going on, Lucy.
Some people have got opinions on this, Sean.
Let's go.
Torgy Bear's here.
Oh, hi, Torgy Bear. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for coming. Angela says, work towards a great foundation. That's it. I think it's building that foundation, isn't it?
That's a good thing to say, because it's like building a house, isn't it? You need the proper foundation.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it could all come tumbling down.
That's
absolutely
a good point, Angela. Yeah. And Torgy Bear says, I agree with the gradual. It's nice to learn as you go and utilize it to grow. Yes. Oh, Angela says Brit Girls are some of our best friends.
Well, likewise. Thank you.
We feel the same.
Heart you.
Yeah. So much love.
Share that love.
Yeah. Oh, and Torgy Bear says, I agree. They're one of my favorites. Oh, now we're blushing.
Oh, shucks, guys.
And Angela says, my first videos were not great. I find that hard to believe.
I do too, yeah.
We'll check out the early ones and see. And Dad says, gradual climb. So that your progress to improve videos is measured. Interesting. Yeah. I think that's right. You need a journey. And I think we're also focused on the goals and the destination and, you know, getting there, that sometimes you can miss this wonderful journey, and it has been wonderful.
Yeah, indeed.
Good question, Sean.
Yes, thank you for that. It's not.
I love
it
we haven't asked Sean. What do you think?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's all about us.
Oh, it's okay. I knew y'all forgot about me. Just one.
We were just talking away to ourselves. What do you think, Sean?
I think I felt like you did Lucy at first, where, you know, it would have been nice to have that overnight bam, right? And but actually, Julie, that's kind of where I've come to. The reason why I had that question is because I saw, I think this happened like a week ago, whatever. A video I thought would do well didn't. So you have to kind of like march along and just do the next video.
Yes.
Right? Like I look at the analytics, but usually I look at it on accident. I actually kind of put in my head, I don't really care about what everything says. You have to look at it because you have to look at it. At some point, I take like a week, once every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe once a month. I look at the, you know, they show you the top 10 videos, whatever your last 10. And so you say, okay, which ones did well, which ones didn't, what can I change, which ones did better. So one of the videos wasn't doing well. I said, okay, well, I'm going to just focus on the next video. And that's what I did. I went and started working on the next video. I checked a couple of days later and it just, sometimes
it's a slow burn, isn't it?
It just took off exponentially. It was like, it went from like one of my worst videos to like it surpassed everything, you know.
So do you know why can you explain what it is? Did you promote it in social media? Did something come up that was relevant to what you were doing and it just then took off? Do you know why?
So my process is the same, you know, like I have a list of topics that I wrote down for the quarter and I research those topics. Well, before I do the research, I make sure, see what the keywords that come up for that topic, right? And then I do a lot of keyword research before, if it's not like a words that people are searching for, if it doesn't pop up in the top of the toolbar, I don't even put it in the title. Now, I will say I need to start writing more compelling titles with those keywords. That's something that I looked at last night and said, okay, I got to get better at doing this, right? But in terms of the, I just lost my train of thought. Man, I hate when that happens. Okay, so, but I was talking about, we're talking about the growth, right? Like growing fast or growing slow. So in the end of the day, I believe that it is about the journey, because I looked at a couple of videos that I did in the beginning and oh my God, like, if I had another character, bless your heart, baby, bless your heart, bless your poor heart. I'm telling you, just bless it, just bless it. That's how bad it was. Like, oh my God, just. I looked at it, it was dreadful. Like my very first video, I'm not in the video. And the reason was I was a mess. I hadn't cut my hair. I was just a mess. So I was like, well, I can't
possibly go on camera.
Well, I was getting ready to move. And so I looked a mess. You know how it is when you start to run around and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna
time to sort of sort yourself out. Yeah.
So I did just the voiceover and just a little whatever. And it's not, the first one isn't too bad. I mean, it's not great. The second one, not too bad. It's just they're very lengthy videos, right? And so I've cut down my videos a little bit. Once you build up your audience to a certain thing, then you can go longer, you can talk with them longer, and they'll appreciate it because they want to see more of you. But I wasn't there yet, so I shouldn't have been making 20-minute videos. Nobody knows. No one knew who the Simsational Gent was, and no one cares, you know. So.
I think there is something about having to earn it, isn't there?
I think so, yeah. And you know yourself, sometimes if you sort of tune into a video and it's too long, you sort of think, oh, that's a bit of a commitment.
I don't know if I can commit 20 minutes today.
But to me, it goes really quickly. Like I'm making a video. Y'all don't realize how much stuff I trim out because, you know, I'm doing a take and I know I used to kind of script out and read the script and it was too robotic. You can look back at some of the older videos and see how it was robotic. I do a script now and I'll look at the whatever, and I'll throw it off to the side. And I'm like, okay, all right. All right. And then like there's like all this footage of me, just these different outbursts. I mean, God, like some of the stuff that Mr. Johnson say, I can't even put on video. It's not just bad. It's just I just might have gotten into the character a little too much. So
Edit Mr. Johnson down.
I edit Mr. Johnson down because like if you notice, like for the most part, there's a couple of words I've used, but like for the most part, I don't curse on my channel or anything like that. And that's the quickest way to get yourself demonetized and stuff like that. And so not that I'm monetized, but I'm just saying, like, you want stuff that everyone can watch, and I think that I can get the same point across without necessarily having to, you know, go there. But remember, I am a sailor, right?
So a bit of
those words fly every now and then.
Salty language.
Salty language. I like that salty. A lot of salt there.
Should we check in with you guys, because I can see you all chatting away? I want
to lots going on, Sean.
Let's go.
Chat.
That's what I'm saying. I've just seen that. Hey, stop it! It's Marie. Hi, Marie. Same. Gradual for me too. Slowly but surely. Had a video blow up a few months ago, and the subscribers I gained from that video expected a certain type of video from me, which don't resonate for me anymore.
Right. Exactly. So that's
what I would be afraid of. Absolutely. That's the fear right there. It's like, okay, well, they like this. Like, well, I didn't want to do that. It's not where I want to go, but maybe that's where you have to go. Maybe, you know, that's it, you know. And so when I look at the videos with the characters now, other than like one or two that I did because I was trying to like try some stuff, but those videos on average are doing better than my other average videos, you know. And so now I'm kind of pot committed to doing this, you know. So I have to write in all four personalities now, you know, talk to myself. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine.
You're ever like, no, who am I now?
And it's funny watching the transition going into that, because I'm like, because I do them one at a time. I film every part for the same character all at the same time, right? So in your one character, I'll switch clothes. I have all the clothes laid out on the bed for each character, and then you switch, and then next thing you know, it's just like, and I'll do a couple takes with playing with it, and then I'm in character, and then it's like, bam, you know, now your next personality. And then sometimes I'll come out of that. I remember picking up the phone like, hey, what you want? Oh, I'm saying, hey, how y'all doing? You know, like, so you just
takes a minute to come out of it.
When I'm in there, trust me.
I love that. And I think you've actually found a good way to handle that. Like Marie was saying, sometimes when you feel like you have to go with subscribers, you can do it from all different angles, all different perspectives because of your characters. So you can, you know, go with what the audience likes, maybe a little more than some of us can.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, it's ironic that right now, I know Mr. Johnson's a fan favorite, and so, you know, like, people are loving the questions videos, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be doing questions every week, but I don't mind giving Mr. Johnson his own segment. You know, maybe he can talk about the news or something. I'm thinking about ways to branch out with that. But so that's the thing. You always have to be creative. I've seen some of the things you all done on your channel. I'm like, how did they just do a Mortal Kombat fight scene? Like, I'm like, how did they? It's like, how'd they just? Wow, that's amazing. Right? So, and I think some of the people in your chat that we all help and support each other. You know, they were commenting too on like some of the editing and some of the stuff you all did, and that's just amazing. It's some amazing stuff. So.
And I have to say, Sean, I think your editing has really come on when you look through your videos. I love your editing is fantastic. You know,
I think it's terrible.
It's not. No, I was saying to you yesterday.
She was genuinely saying this. This isn't just an on-camera thing. She said it yesterday.
I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
The transition between the characters, it's really good, isn't it?
Fantastic.
And then Lucy, she's the editing queen, so she agreed.
If you ever want to get your characters doing a superhero scene, you just talk to me.
I know, I saw that, right? Lightning out of your hands, fire. I don't know, like, how do we do that? But it was actually one of the viewers, actually one of the other content creators that had suggested something to me. And it was around the time where I was starting out these videos. I was really tired during that period of time, right? So there was like, it came out okay, but I mean, she just said, hey, you should cut it this way, just so that like when your character says something, cut them off, right? Like don't give, it's like what, and I didn't think about that. It was like comedic timing, right? Like
Of course,
you might give your audience time to laugh a little bit, but really good comedians, you can't even catch your breath before the next.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So she was just like, cut it off at certain points. I was like, that's a great idea. And so now I've been doing that on the last videos, whatever. I'm trying to cognizant some things you need to drag out. Like Mr. Johnson, I don't really edit down too much how he talks. I take out a few of the ums and the ahs, but that's the way he talks, right? It's kind of drawn out a little bit. So with the other characters, they need to be a little bit more, okay, boom, to the point, right? So
yeah. And I think that contrast, like when they're all talking, is really nice, actually, because you appreciate those slower moments because of the faster ones. It has a kind of resonance to it.
Yes.
But okay, now it's Mr. Johnson's personality. It's a little bit slower, and it actually all ties into the character. It's so interesting. Yeah. Should we see what Torgy Bear has to say?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. My first Minecraft survival video was uploaded, and then within 2 days, it had over 70 views.
Wow.
Do you think that the keywords are the best way, or what's the best way to get more views other than promoting and sharing? Or is that the best way? What do you think, Sean?
I personally, so you all know, you have to study a lot about this, right? Because right now I have all these lightings. I just bought the 2 lights that are in front of me recently, right? If you look at some of my videos prior to me doing these sketches, right? I did lighting, more shadows on the face and stuff. So to answer the question, it's everything, right?
Yeah.
You're studying all the time. I study, hey, using keywords and stuff, right? If you can have something that it's unique keywords, but if no one's searching for it, we might watch your stuff, but you're not going to get it out to the wider audience. When people type in their search bar, your video isn't going to pop up, right? It's going to be buried somewhere down there, because people aren't, or actually, let me rephrase that. If people looked for your title, they would probably find it, but the search volume is so low that you don't have enough people looking for what you're putting out there, right? So that's how I think some of my videos had more success than others, because of the keyword research. And then the other thing is the thumbnail, right? I mean, I literally have messed over videos' chances of doing well. There was the one, it was a good video. It was one where I talked about cuffing season and stuff like that, right? Right. So, and if you don't know what cuffing season is, everyone, I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Cuffing season is that period from right around before Halloween all the way till, right after Thanksgiving or whatever. It's getting colder, right? So it's harder to meet people. So people are starting to couple up, shack up and stuff like that because it's cold. That's cuffing season. That video was really cool, right? I think that it was cool. And I even talked about how it affects relationships, right? So that people that are married, relationships, all that stuff still felt involved, right? But it didn't do well because the thumbnail was bad, right? So the thumbnail title was off, and so that could make or break it. So it's the title research, it's the thumbnail, and then it's what you present inside the video. And that's why I talked about the lighting, the pacing we just talked about. And you all know, so it's all those things, right? And you're like, why didn't that do well? It felt like it should have did well, but it didn't, because maybe you didn't title it correctly. And I don't, like, right now, if you notice, all Mr. Johnson's question and answers have the same thing. And now all I'm doing now is just adding episode 4, episode 3, because I did the keyword research. So even if they don't find it because it says episode 4 at the end, and maybe that's not somebody's what they're searching for, they'll see my other videos and then they'll say, oh, wow, there's 3, 4 other videos. So that stuff is so important. You have to do keyword research. You have to. The thumbnail thing I'm still trying to figure out, right? But but my thumbnails and your thumbnails, sorry to cut you off, my thumbnails and your thumbnails are very consistent, right? They have a consistent color. Absolutely. So does mine, right? And that's one thing that I learned from doing research. So you can't just say, well, I'm gonna make a video and be a YouTube star. That we all know that doesn't work.
You
have to have a brand around yourself. Sorry.
I think one time we did a thumbnail that was slightly different because it was like Norwich related, so that the colours of Norwich are green and yellow. So we did a green and yellow thumbnail, and a couple of people said, "Oh, I almost missed this video because it didn't look like yours."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And even though there was a reason we changed it, we kind of thought, well, should we have just stuck with our colours so that people who like our videos know, immediately, it's the Brit Girls.
But then you want other people who don't know you to see it. So it's a bit of a dilemma. So we mainly stick with our colours, but we do occasionally sort of branch out to a different background. But we try and keep something consistent within it if we can.
That was a great question, Claudia. Thank you.
Yeah, very good question. Yeah.
Let's see what Angela has to say. She says, "That's so funny. We don't write a script. We just go over what we're doing and go for it, lol."
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that's lovely because Jeff is such a great talker.
Yes.
And he's got his, I suppose, like catchphrases
throughout
the videos that I always find myself saying along with him in my terrible American accent. So I think that's lovely, Angela.
If I didn't, scripting it keeps it easier to edit.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
I don't stay on script. Like I like, there's certain points that I have to get across because I'm talking about a specific, niche, dating and relationships, right? So there's certain things that I'm trying to relate because I've done that research and I want to put that out, or I want to make that known. So the scripting is more just to keep it on track. So when I go to editing,
you've got that framework.
I know exactly. Now again, with these characters, I do so many ad libs, but it's within this time of video, you know, so I know, okay, do I want this? Do I want that? That's easier to cut down. But if I went off the top of my head, editing would take like days.
Well, that's our trouble, isn't it, Lucy?
That's so often our trouble.
We kind of write a framework
and then ignore it.
And then we get onto something, we go off, don't we?
Yes,
a nightmare editing and subtitling. I
can't even imagine that episode y'all did with the biscuits and the tea. And then,
oh my God,
there's biscuits everywhere.
Oh my God, Sean, can I just say that portrait Lucy did of her mother?
With the tea. I mean, I was like, ugh.
It looked better in my imagination.
That one did not win. That one did not win.
No, nobody voted for it. Nobody.
One person said my artwork was better than mine.
No. I still haven't forgiven her, to be honest.
Look, the one was like, it's more like Picasso. Don't worry about it. It's more like Picasso.
Exactly.
It's artistic. It's in the artist's mind. You can't judge. You can't judge all that.
Don't question my process. Let's look back. Marie says, I tried TubeBuddy to help me with the keywords and all, but didn't see much growth from it too. Sharing on my social media helped me more than TubeBuddy. Do you use TubeBuddy, Sean?
I do, and I still use the basics. So I use TubeBuddy as a framework. My suggestion would be that TubeBuddy is going to tell you the score, and you can have the best score in there. The other thing is go to, before I even go to TubeBuddy or go to YouTube and stuff like that, I go to Google.
Right.
And I'll type it in just in Google because it'll make suggestions. If whatever you type comes to the top, that's what people are typing and looking for. So, and then you go to Google, what's it called? Keyword, whatever. So I'll type and throw in a keyword in there and it'll tell you where it's trending over time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
If you type in something into YouTube, if that pops up and it's on the top bar, right? If it's not in like the top 2 or 3, I'm not even using it, And
so, that's good advice. Really good advice.
So you have to balance, are people looking for this across multiple, sites and platforms?
Yes.
And if the answer is yes, then that's a good keyword.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think that's true. And like you say, Marie, social media has really helped us too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Facebook in particular for us, you know, posting in various groups has really enhanced our views on certain videos.
For sure. Torgy Bear say, that can be a bummer. I think that's in relation to what Marie just said. But it's always nice to create what you feel is right. And once you find the passion for what that is, others will follow and you'll end up making awesome things. I love that, actually. You have to make content you're passionate about, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so true. Tony says, my first videos were not good either. I scripted them and read through the script. And after some feedback negative on Skype and Discord, I had to change the way I make my videos. And I must say, Tony, I'm so glad you did, because we love listening to you.
Oh my goodness. I love your rants. And Tony just says it like it is. And it's so refreshing. You know, he doesn't beat about the bush with his reviews. And I just crack it up. But it's so, you know, good. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Tony's latest rants.
Oh yes, I just saw the latest one.
Look. Let me summarize what Tony has been saying in the last 2 videos. Do not get Cool Borders 3 and 4. Do not get that game at all. Okay? Don't waste your time.
Tony, I was about to purchase it, but not now.
I know.
No
not
way.
Now.
I know. I find myself feeling angry at Cool Borders 3.
Look, why is there multiplayer? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Why do I keep falling down?
Yeah. You fall down again and then again.
And again and again. Oh my God.
Don't get this game.
Oh, I was crying laughing at that. I was like, oh
Me
my
too.
God.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't seen Tony's latest
TT Burger 88.
Please go and watch it.
I almost gave Tony. I almost gave you a digital hug, my friend. I was like, man, Tony need a hug.
That's so funny. Where did I get to in the chat, Mum? Can you see?
Oh gosh.
It helps to buggy.
You?
Sorry, everybody. You're doing so amazing in the chat. It scrolled away and I've lost you.
Lucy, you're going to lose your job. We're going to have to change roles.
I know.
Yes.
Oh, here we are. Talkie Bear, I tried my best to censor videos or put a warning at the start. How is it going, TT Burger? Is it a useful tool? And thanks for the heads up, Angela. So more views equal it being noticed. So more views equal it being noticed. Yeah, I think that's right. If your video gets loads of views immediately, then YouTube will start promoting it to a wider audience.
Yes.
And that's what we were just talking about. So that happens, I'll go away from it. And what I don't realize is that, okay, it's not doing well. But then next thing you know, keywords take over, the views take over. And I noticed that because we all watch each other's videos, we all support each other. And I noticed that it'd be like the next day when most people start really looking at it. And then that, like, YouTube's like, oh my God, okay, let's promote it. Next thing you know, my click-through rate went from like, you know, some really, really good number. And I was like, 0.8. I'm like, why did it go to 0.8? Because it throws it out to so many more people. It's gonna drop you down. So like that's why, you know what, you can't just sit there and watch that, because you'll go crazy looking at that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a certain point where I just completely cut off worrying about what the stats say on a video. Like I just next video.
That's right.
Yeah.
We try and look at like the comments that we get, you know, like maybe a video didn't do so well in terms of numbers, but we might get some great feedback on it. And that's just as valuable, I think.
And maybe the watch time is better because not so many people watched it. It wasn't of interest to everybody, but those who did watch it watched it for longer. So, you know, you have to put that in the perspective too, which is equally as important.
Yes, that's right. Let's see, where did we get up to? Torgy Bear says, just wondering if the keywords have any major impact. I think like we were saying, Torgy Bear, I think they do. And he says, I try to find the best ones that relate to my channel, but unless I push it, it doesn't get noticed. Reasons why I love the gaming communities I've found. As it's helped me find some great channels and helped me grow as a creator. Yeah, I think when you're starting out, that's one of the best things you can do. Yes, do your keyword research and all of that. I think it's fantastic, but also try and find other YouTubers to support and to offer advice. And, you know, we weren't expecting this amazing journey and to make so many friends.
No, we just didn't realize. And that's wonderful. Yeah, it really is. We just thought we'd be doing this on our own and just getting a handful of people, like friends and family, until they got fed up with it.
You guys again.
What have I got to watch?
Friends and family are like, they're your best and worst supporters.
Yeah.
My
You
mom.
were saying about your mom. Yeah. What
So
did she say to you?
mom never used to watch my show. She's like, oh, that's just him talking, whatever. Then she came across one of those episodes of Mr. Johnson, and now she's been addicted to the show ever since. So I'm like, oh. So you know what I mean? You just never know. Sorry, one last thing about the keyword thing. The keyword thing isn't going to necessarily boost you up right now, but what it does is when people are searching for this stuff, right? And I haven't seen it yet because I'm a new channel. I've only been my channel has only been up since like August. Right. I think I made everything in like July, but I didn't put out a video until August. And so something that I noticed, and hopefully we all experience this at some point, but it happens at different times to different people. But if you're doing everything, the keywords, the thumbnails and stuff, based on what I've seen, right about like a certain amount of time of doing it, you have evergreen topics now, stuff that people are searching for all the time. If you're doing that, then later on, your stuff is evergreen, meaning that people are always looking for these topics. So eventually you might just see a spike in your channel one day and you're like, where'd that come from? So I think YouTube also wants to see if we're committed to the journey.
Yes, I think that's right. And I think that's why they recommend putting the videos out on the same days or like regularly as well, so that YouTube can see, okay, there's a commitment there.
Yes.
You know, I think
that's right. Why would I invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself?
Yeah, good point. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So true.
So true. Oh, Marie's here on her other account now. Hi, other Marie.
More views.
Yeah. She says, this discussion is getting more interesting. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the chat today, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Angela says, keyword research is big. I agree. Thumbnails are big too. Yes, totally. TT Berger says, back in the early 2000s, we had a lot of complicating editing programs that would take days to get a video edited for like a school project or so. I remember that. I did media studies at high school. It was very complicated to edit a video. Yes, thank goodness for technology progressing.
I taught myself all this stuff. Like, that's the other part too, right? Like, how much do you teach yourself, right? Like, I try to learn something new all the time. So I have a whole playlist of just, video editing techniques, lighting I've been working on. Still terrible at lighting, but I'm working on it. So, I mean, like, you just have to always be willing to adapt, learn, look at the channels that you admire. There's a lot of gaming channels that do really well. And there's like ours, variety and stuff like that, kind of vloggers, variety kind of channels. And you can look at them and see how they're doing well, and unfortunately, and this is something I haven't done yet, but it's like, you don't want to like replicate, you want your thing to be unique, but there's actually nothing wrong with peeking at somebody you admire that has a similar channel and saying, what ideas can I get from them? Not necessarily stealing or borrowing, whatever, but I know that to be true because right now, and they got some video gamers in the chat, right now, everyone with Call of Duty right now, it's the brand new game. It just came out. Well, everyone's mad about how hard it is because, the matchmaking is such that you're not playing people of all types of skill levels. You're playing people with the exact same skill level. So every match is hard. So everyone's making these videos saying, this is terrible. Oh, I can't believe it's this hard. Guess what? Those videos are blowing up right now on YouTube. If you rant about this new video game, you're going to get a lot of views. You do the keyword thing, your thumbnail is good, you were going to get 1,000 views. But that's but your channel has to be toward that. You know what I mean? So
look at us doing that then, Lucy.
We'd be ranting about how hard any video game is.
I mean, like, I see that, and I want to, like, man, I wish I was in that niche, but I'm not.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So our growth is all going to be different rates, and it's easy too that you may have seen this. You go, some of us grow at different rates, and you're like, wow, like, we're all happy for each other. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think anyone's not happy for each other. But I'm just saying that you can see other channels grow at different rates, and you're like, wow, how did they do that? And well, it has nothing to do with you or anything that you're doing wrong. It's just that your niche grows at a certain rate, and there's, if our videos aren't going to grow as much as one with puppies.
That's true.
If you have a channel
Where
with
is Layla?
puppies,
Where is
well,
she? It's not
just
here
put
today.
your dog in every video. Just like, here's our
Yeah,
dog.
we're not. She's not invited. Yeah. Layla's not invited in. She just makes appearances. Yes.
She's like a special guest. She's like our Mr. Johnson.
Yes. Yes. Layla's going to have her own channel as well too.
Yeah.
You can literally make a channel for Layla and it would blow up. And then like,
Yeah.
what just
blow up
happened?
and we'd be like, oh.
People just following shiny objects now, you know? Like,
Yeah. But I think it's kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about people looking for stuff that makes them feel good, like you looking for your comedies. You know, looking at cute puppies makes us feel good.
A little bit of escapism.
Yeah, or funny cats or whatever. I think that's probably why it's so popular.
Not me, it makes me angry.
Does it? It's like, why aren't I that cute?
I hate puppies and I hate kittens.
Oh, check out the chat.
Nicole from Travel is here.
Oh,
Hi everyone.
hi.
Hi Nicole. Thank you for coming. And Flour, Eggs and Yeast.
Oh, hi guys.
Hey, what's going on?
So glad I was able to catch this. Yes, we're happy to have you here. Let's see. Sorry if I'm slow in the chat. It keeps jumping up, but I will get to you all. Let's see. Flour,
I'm glad that's y'all looking at the chat because I'd have to like y'all to actually see me with those reading glasses. I'm like, what's going on here? Who writing right now?
I think she needs them because she's like
I know my face is like right here. Well, I must say, because it's not on actual YouTube, it's in the content thing, and it's white on black. White on black writing is not good, is it? It's very hard to read. So nice how YouTube feels like such a close community. Yeah, exactly.
It does.
Totally agree with that. And Flowers, Eggs and Yeast say, I'm with your mum. I love Mr. Johnson. He's hilarious.
He's going to appear.
Yeah.
An appearance.
And let's see. Everyone's just talking about the game, loving the game. Yes. And Togi Bear says he's very wise. I think Mr. Johnson comes across as quite wise. Yeah. Like he's seen some stuff and he's got some experience to share.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's the great thing that character brings to not just the comedic relief at times. I think that there's something relatable, right? It's that uncle, that grandfather, that dad, that Mr. Johnson is all of those things. And so he's like a warm pair of old shoes.
Yeah.
You know, them ones, them comfy ones, you know, the ones you slip on after work, you know.
Have you ever thought, Sean, about doing a live and getting people to put questions? That would be scary, wouldn't it?
Yes.
You know, I have thought about a live, and I think I was going to wait. There's certain things I'm waiting until, like, I'm right at 200 subscribers now, almost. I'm like,
that's brilliant, because you've only been going since August. That's really good.
Right. So, like, I'm trying to wait until I hit that 200 mark, because I want to make sure I have enough people to kind of like do that. And I just changed the format up. Like, I just changed everything up. I literally just blew my channel up and said, you know, not blew it up, but I mean, like, literally, I'm at like a whole new realm that I'm still learning about. I mean, like, I have to determine right now after this, am I setting up green screen for the next video? You know what I mean? I have to make this choice.
We were going to ask you about the green screen, because your green screen,
so good.
I didn't know that bar scene. I thought it was
a real bar.
I didn't think it's a real bar.
My mom said that too.
In Las Vegas that runs a bar and he's let him film in it. And you went, there is green screen.
Somebody was also amazed too that those are 4 different bar scenes from different bars. So I went through dozens of photos and said, okay, how can I fit the best 4 photos together that make it seem like it's the same bar?
Yeah, they look very cool bars. I would go for a drink in one in all of those.
Actually, a lot of those bars are pubs, and a lot of them are in England.
You see, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
Warm pair of shoes. Warm pair of shoes.
Like British
it's like the guys have gone on holiday.
Yeah.
They did, though. Those bars are so empty. We have the whole place to ourselves. Come on now. We're going to talk about this. So yeah, but even that was a learning curve. I had no clue how to do green screen. And I mean, it was going terribly. I thought I was going to cancel the show for that day or just like record something real quick, like, because I wanted to keep my upload schedule. But it was like, there's so many things you learn. Like it has to be tight. There can't be any shadows on it. The light.
It's so hard.
You have to have lighting. I tried to do my normal lighting for me, but it was casting shadows back on the green screen, where you have to have lighting on the green screen so it pops up. Oh my God, there's so many things, but that's why
you nailed it.
Yeah.
You go on YouTube and I just start watching videos. How do I do green screen? I don't know. Like, you have to learn all these.
You've got to get that green screen out, Lucy, and have another bash at it.
Yeah, we try to do it, and it's hard. Like you say, the lighting is the hardest thing to get right with the green screen.
And then we got all crinkles on it, and
it got crinkled.
And then I ironed it and made some splodges on it. Oh
no! Wow, looked like a green screen went through the war.
Yeah, it did.
Because I have mine is like 6 by 9, 6 by 10, something ridiculous, right? So I'm trying to iron this thing on a normal size ironing board. Like
I was doing the same. Yeah.
Like I'm like
it just goes on forever.
It takes ages, doesn't it?
I iron all the time, right? Like my uncle's like,
you're in the forces because you do iron, don't you?
Yes, I was. You know what? I don't think that's the reason why I iron. Like prior to me joining, I worked at Sears when I was a teenager, and I used to have to I dressed up, button up shirt, tie. And I mean, like, I was always like, my shirts, starched. Them creases, I used to put creases in my pants and would cut somebody.
Nice.
Right. So I've been ironing since I was a teenager. And then of course in the military, you can't have wrinkles in your uniform.
Right.
So with that being said, so now, but I'm ironing this green screen. I'm like, when is it gonna end?
Tell me about it.
That's to be perfect.
Oh, we've got a video where I'm ironing the green screen. This is way back in the day.
It's one of our first videos.
And Lucy's just watching and laughing.
Yeah, because it's funny. And then they were like, they suggest you roll it up so the wrinkles don't come back. If you fold it, you're gonna put the creases right back in.
Oh, I know.
So mine is rolled up around here somewhere. Actually, this place looks like a studio right now. You guys aren't seeing everything around, but this thing is crazy. Like, okay. that ironing board is holding a light up right now.
Good ironing board comes in handy all the time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it is amazing. We didn't realize when we started how much stuff we'd need for YouTube. Of course you don't. You can start with a phone,
but
exactly. As you start to grow and look for new equipment, there's so much stuff that you can buy.
I still use my phone. I mean, it has ultra high def on it. Now, I will invest in a camera very soon because it would help if I had like 2 perspectives on certain things.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Or there's times where I just need my phone for other stuff and it's recording, right? So, and then there's things you can fine tune with a camera that you can fine tune with your phone, but it's going to go better in a camera. Like now the next thing I'm learning about is like, ISO and what's all the different settings on your phone, white balance, and you're doing all this stuff and you're like, wow, I didn't know how much. That's a whole nother thing you have to research, and
it's ongoing, isn't it? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Three-Way Theory.
Hi.
Welcome. They want to know, what kind of equipment do you have for YouTube?
Oh my God. Like I said, I'm still working with basic equipment. So my phone is my camera. I have like multiple tripods. I got a lot of tripods. I just bought these 2 lights that are in front of me right now, and they are blinding the crap out of me. But anyway, holy cow, you don't know, like I have these imprints of lights in my eyes right now. But these lights here come with filters. They were really simple lights, but they have daylight all the way up to daylight. So you want something to have daylight, but also I have these blue filters on them right now, right? So I have some red screens, yellow, so that's that. What else do I have? I have a whole bag. I have clamps, like these plastic clamps. So you can't see, but right here, there's a piece of cardboard. So you go to the supply section of like Walmart or something, and I bought some styrofoam boards. One is white, a couple are black, some of them are white. And then what you can do is reflect the light off the board, and it gives you softer tones and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
We need that.
Softer tones. I like the sound of that.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
We've had to redo a whole video because Mum doesn't like how I lit her face.
Well, that was only once. But it was the most uncomplimentary look. It was as bad as the biscuit portrait.
Right.
But she looked wonderful because obviously she'd set it up for her lighting, but she hadn't bothered about mine.
This is mine right here. All this on this side right here.
Like this, good.
All
This is good.
This is
Yeah.
good
What are you
right
worried
here.
about, Mum? Nobody's looking at you.
Yeah, like that.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. That's the only time, and that was recently. But yes.
But all that stuff with lighting. That's what I'm trying to say. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like diffusing light, you know, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I bought shower curtains, like, you know, because then I could put a shower curtain in front of this light, and it would in front of these lights, and it would soften the light on my face. So it depends. It depends.
Lucy.
And we could be making a trip to Bed Bath and Beyond.
Right. We can talk about all this later if y'all want to know. But I'm saying like all my stuff is simple stuff. I created a light box, right? Out of I sat there and did arts and crafts. I think I threw the picture away. I'm sorry, I wanted to put that up, but I sat and just made my own light box, right? And that's a light diffusing, right? I bought the cardboard, the thick cardboard. I put aluminum foil in the inside. I bought like a little cheap clamp lamp light that I stuck in the middle of it. And then I put like the shower curtain over it with Velcro. So a lot of the lighting you see when I do my videos, at least the last one, all of it is that light box I created. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars, I just did arts and crafts on the ground. Like, okay. You know, so you know, like you don't have to go all out. I think that as your channel grows, that's why I think what we talked about earlier, right? In the earlier topic where we talked about not growing gradually, not growing exponentially, right? Because if you grow exponentially, then everything you're doing is have to go up exponentially. It's going to be expected that your quality and everything goes up instead of it being a journey and you know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It can get very expensive very quickly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole bag over here, like extension cords, you know, light diffuser stuff, like clamps. I mean, just so to answer the question, my stuff is very simple. It's just as I'm starting to do this, I'm like, I could use this, right? Okay, I need this. You know, like I said, this is just a piece of construction board you'd make a school project with. And what it's doing is there's a lamp on the other side of this, creating that blue effect here in the background. So it keeps the light just going that way instead of spilling out on the meat.
Such a great idea. Yeah.
I did not mean for this to be in the shot, but that's okay. That's a rookie mistake. Okay. But
well, it's worked well for this because you can demonstrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But there's also a mirror back there. So I guess it's a good thing that it is there. So that way it is.
Perfect. Well, we remember it. Who have we got on the Share the Love next week, Lucy?
Oh, yeah. So we've got the lovely Claudia Ramirez, who is like a motivational speaker, and we're just obsessed with her, aren't we?
She is gorgeous and she is fabulous and she's so energetic and passionate about what she's saying. She is.
And you will always leave her channel feeling amazing. So come along for that one. You won't regret it.
No. And just to remind you, if you're in the chat now, please give us a like and
head on over to the Simsational Gent after this interview and go and check out Sean's channel if you haven't already.
Thank you.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Johnson in the house?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I guess y'all don't want to talk to me no more. I see how it is.
Oh, me too. You can come back.
Just like, all right, no, I'll go get Mr. Johnson. So, but chat amongst yourself. Hey, good seeing y'all. Make sure you check the Simsational Gent. New videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. There's my plug. Okay, I'm out. I'll be right back.
Perfect. Okay, so while he's away, if you've got a question for Mr. Johnson,
yes,
he
gives amazing relationship advice.
Yes,
and oh, let's see. Angela says, that's so funny. I've gotten spoken to about Jeff about getting a bad angle.
Well, Jeff, it's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, these youngsters don't realise. Yes,
I can't imagine there's many bad angles, especially in their house. Their house is amazing.
No. Oh my goodness, yes, check them out. It's like Winter Wonderland. It's amazing.
Yeah.
With all those Christmas lights and ornaments and trees and
yes,
absolutely
stunning.
Yes, true.
And Three-Way Theory say, yes, lighting is very important. It's so true, isn't it?
We do need to do more with ours.
Yeah. And Three-Way Theory, your lighting always looks amazing. You've got some incredible drone footage. We're in awe of the stuff that you make. So.
Oh, yes. Oh, hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Nice to see you. We're actually seeing Justin this afternoon. We're going to an outdoor stage and watching a Christmas show. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, very excited. Torgy Bear says, what an awesome interview so far. Thank you for doing these. You're very welcome. And whilst we've got the time, if anyone wants to come on Share the Love Sundays and talk about their channel, then you can either message us. The email should be on the bottom of our screen there, but Brit Girls Go Stateside at gmail.com, or just, pop us a message on social media.
All right.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Johnson.
Hi, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, I've got all kind of like,
Ladies, how y'all doing today?
We're very well.
Oh man, this is not a flattering light on me today.
Oh, you always look great. We did the same hand movement.
My goodness. How y'all doing, ladies? Everybody, how y'all doing out there?
They seem to be enjoying the show, Mr. Johnson. So what can you tell us that Sean, calm? What is your advice for what makes a good what can we ask Mr. Johnson, Lucy?
Oh, let's ask Mr. Johnson some relationship advice. Mr.
Go on right here. What y'all talking about?
How can you resolve conflict in a relationship?
Well, is this what we talking about? We talking about dating? We talking about marriage? We talking about what? Because it's different.
Is it different?
Oh, it's absolutely
let's do dating
different.
First, then.
Well, if you're dating, the conflict, sometimes you're gonna fight. Okay, sometimes you're gonna sleep on the couch. Okay, and I find the couch rather comfortable. See, she thinks it's a punishment, but that's the way I can get away from her nagging. Okay, so you're gonna do that sometime. But dating, like if it get bad, here, this is what the best advice I can give is: don't stay nothing you ain't happy with, because the one thing that you have is the most valuable is time. See, you think that you're gonna lose somebody. Everybody's scared to lose somebody. Okay, you can't be scared to lose people in that scenario. Now, if you with somebody long term, then you got to work it out. There's some days I ain't gonna like you, and there's some days you ain't gonna like me. But guess what? You stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere.
Thank you for that.
No
Anyone
problem.
else got a we've got a question in the chat, Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Everyone says, hey, Mr. Johnson. Talkie Bear says, oh my God, Mr. Johnson, I love him so much.
Well, love y'all too.
Flower, eggs, and you say, I literally just heard Mr. Johnson and ran for the kitchen to see. I was multitasking, but didn't want to miss your big appearance.
Oh, well, I appreciate that much. Hey, I gave you a shout on that last channel, Flower, Eggs, and Yeast. Yeah, I'll tell you right there, that channel, whoo, right here, that's Flower, Eggs right there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I want to get a buzz with my cousins. Come on, man.
I think Dad's got a question.
Oh, does Mr. Johnson have a first name?
Is it
yes,
Morris, he says?
Or is it not Boris?
No,
we have a Boris Johnson over in the UK.
Boris Johnson, yes, that's an interesting fella there.
Exactly.
My name,
this is
my name is Ralph D. Johnson. Ralph D. Johnson.
Can we ask what the D stands for?
Dwayne Johnson. Kind of like the Rock. Like the Rock, except I was here before he was. Okay, he about what, 40 something? I'm 60. So yeah, I'm the first Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like me.
Yeah.
All right.
Justin says, good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Marie says, why is this so funny? Definitely checking out his videos after this live. You won't regret it, Marie. It's very, very good.
What are the biggest mistakes do you think that guys make when chatting up a woman? How long have we got?
Oh, there's so many. The one thing that I find that guys make a mistake is they're too anxious. Okay,
Right.
they're too anxious and not enough confidence. Okay, so I've said that in many videos. You got to have confidence. If you go there and you're timid, it doesn't project strength. And as much as women can say they don't like this, that, and the third, you want a guy who's sure of himself. Okay, you want a guy that know what he about. You may not like it, but you can respect him for it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Most guys don't know what confidence is and how to have it. If you need that, I have video on that too. So that's one thing. The other thing is too anxious and too desperate. Okay, so you come off as too anxious and too desperate, then you start doing things that out of character. Okay, now one of the worst videos that I seen Sean put up on the Simsational Gent was 14 reasons people get ghosted. Okay, and then one of them is you're too anxious. You're violating a space. You're trying to put your hands on them too quick.
Yeah.
Alarm bells.
Yeah.
You got no manners. Whatever.
Oh, hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be desperate. That don't project strength neither. All it show is that your interest, okay, is less than reputable, as they say. Okay, and
you don't
so,
want that.
Yeah, no, too many guys with that, and then like on my last video, that I told them I answer question answers, and then guys want to put their wang out too much. Okay, so like, look, women don't want to see
excuse me,
that.
put the what?
They wang out. They just going. Yeah, you just figure you can look at that later, look it up later. But like, stop doing that online. I'm putting out a PSA for some other women I know that say, yo, this happened to us all the time. They check your inbox, you got wang pics. Okay, nobody want to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Right. Thank you for saying so.
Well, Sean said he got some female friends that said, yo, if you get a chance, tell these guys stop putting them things in my inbox.
Yes.
Nobody want to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody wants that.
I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna go on and do that? That's nasty. That's real nasty.
Oh, no, please don't.
Keep it classy, people.
Yes.
Keep it classy.
Yeah.
Keep it classy.
Oh, Justin's got a comment.
The youth call desperation being too thirsty, Mr. Johnson.
With that, the thirsty? I'm
thirsty.
Yeah. Why ain't got no water over here, Sean? Thirsty. Oh, thirsty. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess that's what them young folks say. Thirsty. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, it's thirsty. Yeah, whatever that thing is, y'all say.
Getting down with
those
the
youngsters. Yeah, I don't know half the terms either, Mr. Johnson.
I don't know neither.
No, best not sometimes, I think. Yeah, best just to be ignorant about these things.
Is bliss.
We have another question.
Talkie Bear says, Mr. Johnson, what do you think is the perfect date?
Well, I'm old school, okay? So, I like to woo, say the woo. I like to woo. Okay, so I do all that. I like to go ahead and, here's the thing. I'm going to give some quick advice. If you're going on a date, don't bring flowers and candy unless you can sustain it. Because whatever you do in the beginning of a relationship is going to be expected later. Have you ever seen them fights where it's like, well, you don't do what you used to back in the day?
Yes.
So it's because you set the expectation in the beginning that you was going to be this romantical, doing all these things, okay? If you ain't one for opening doors, don't start doing it in the beginning, right? If she don't like you for that, that's on you. However, I'm a Southern gentleman, so I still opens doors, I pull up chairs, I stand up.
Yes.
I stand up when the lady get ready to leave the table. I still do all them things. So,
Mr. Johnson, I love that. And if I was with a gentleman who didn't do that, then he would be out for me. So I'm glad you've said that.
Now, to be fair to you ladies, to everybody out there, to the guys out there, to be fair to you guys, okay? I understand that nowadays you can open the door for a woman. Sean was telling me this story. You open the door for a woman. She's like, I can get my door myself. Okay. And you're like, well, look, this is not trying to infringe upon y'all ladyhood, if you will. What this is that, I'm just being a gentleman. It's not saying you can't do it. It's just saying that I'm being a gentleman here and I'm going to open this door for you. Now, here's the thing. I've opened the door for the woman and the dude that came behind or somebody. Yeah. I'm opening the door as a sign of being a man. Okay? I'm a man.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, I do the normal stuff. You do a little wine, you do a little dancing, I got my...
Are you a good dancer, Mr. Johnson?
Oh my God.
Yes.
I got a little
and
shuffle.
the grooves.
You know what I mean? I got my little...
Mr. Johnson.
Oh my goodness, I think we need a video of you dancing. If you could mention that to Sean.
Well, you know, if you go ahead and watch through the videos, I'm sure you'll see me on there doing my little shuffle.
I've seen you. I've seen you.
Yeah, I got it on one of them videos now. Okay. Yep. But that's what I'm saying. Just...
And you say so very true. And Marie says, amen to that, Mr. Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Johnson, what do you think of corny chat-up lines? Should those guys out there do that or not? Have you got any good ones, or do you think just avoid those?
I would say, if y'all seen the last video, I think Jamal used a really bad pickup line.
I know what it is.
Got a drink thrown in his face. Okay, so
yes, I saw.
Yeah, be careful with that one for sure.
Now, I think that pickup lines have a place there, but you have to know how and when to use it. Okay, so what I mean is this: if you know it's a situation that being comedically funny might get you the girl, then using a pickup line might grab her attention. But other than that, to me, they just come off corny.
Yeah.
Because it seems, again, it go back to being what that young man said, thirsty. That's what he said. So it come off being thirsty, and that's what you don't want to be. So it's a balance between using the pickup line or not. Okay. And then Sean, I've been told, he went out a couple times when he was younger, and then he just a whole night of just saying all pickup lines. Okay. And he did things like that when he was younger. Just go out and see what people think about random things. You know what I'm saying? So, but that did not go well. Okay.
Right. No.
And then there was one night where he was trying to get a drink thrown in his face. What can you say to get a drink thrown in your face? Believe me, it's actually pretty hard. And when you do, you deserve it. Okay. So, so Jamal getting that drink in his face, I mean, like you could say he don't deserve it, but I mean, it was pretty bad.
Right, yeah, it would have to be.
You don't want to waste your drink for one thing. It's gonna have to be something.
Wait, a lady wasting her drink? Come on now. Come on.
Right, exactly.
So what you're saying, I think, Mr. Johnson, is keep it classy.
Well, you know, that's the thing, right? You want to project that you, or especially younger guys. Younger guys, already you at a disadvantage because you at a point in your life where you haven't. You don't have that experience that a lot of women look for. So what do you have to offer? You got to be funny. You got to be sure of yourself and what you're doing. Okay. And you got to look like you have some type of direction and goals for yourself. And that's the way you get past that.
Yes. People, you know, women, I think, want to have a man who's you know, who's
got something going on.
Yeah.
Got something going on. Got a little something. Absolutely.
Yeah. And a sense of humor, obviously, is the most important, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think maybe it goes the other way as well. Men also want, what do you think, Mr. Johnson? Men also want a woman who's got something going on, you know, she knows she's got some direction and some passion and some hobbies about something.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. I think that some of the things that women think that men are looking for isn't necessarily true, right? So a woman that's like, okay, well, I got this fancy car and this big house, and men don't care about that. They don't. Now they want to know that if they working towards something that you're gonna do it as a team, even if you're doing your own thing, they want to know that. But at the same time, you know, if you got a whole bunch of stuff, men don't care about that. They want a good man. Okay, a good man. Yes. He wants a woman that's gonna stroke his head at the end of the day, and that's gonna understand him. Okay, that's gonna give him that softness that he ain't got inherently dealing with all these other men in the world. You see what I'm saying? Because if I didn't need that softness and that love from my woman, then I could just hang with my boys all the time. You see what I'm saying? But that ain't the case. Okay, I got Miss Johnson back at the house, and
how is Mrs. Johnson doing?
Well, that woman drives me crazy right now. This whole COVID situation did put it's challenging. So here's the thing: you don't make it to 35 years of marriage, okay? You don't make it to 35 years of marriage and then falter just because some little virus decided to poke its head up.
Yeah.
So one of the most important things is everybody got to have their own hobbies, okay? So there's things that I do outside of Mrs. Johnson that keep me busy. and there's things that she have outside of me that keep her busy. And then we come together, there's always something new. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So I've been doing this show with Sean and them, and so it keep me busy. You know, I get out the house a little bit, get to express my feelings to all the men and stuff all up in here. So you know, so you got to have your own thing, because if not, then you start depending on the other person for your entertainment. Okay, you start depending on them for your happiness, and you got to, only you can make you happy. I can get you all the flowers and the candy in the world, and if you ain't happy with you ain't gonna even respond to that. You see what I'm saying? It's only gonna be temporary. Okay, your happiness got to be all up in him. All up in here. Okay.
Yeah. Aww. We've got some points being made in the chat actually along those lines.
Dr. Severin Bryan's here. Hello. She says, yes, women need a man with goals. We are ready and willing to help him reach those goals.
Yeah, teamwork. Exactly. It's a partnership, isn't it?
And look, Mrs. Johnson got her own goal. She got her own thing going on. You know.
What's Mrs. Johnson got going on?
Well, she likes botany, and she's working on developing home gardens, because people need to be able to have their own fruits and vegetables and stuff. We've gotten away from making our own food. So she's trying to work to develop. She's a pretty smart woman. Okay. I wouldn't mess with her if she wasn't. Okay. But she's a pretty smart woman, you know, and so she out there developing that stuff. And I'm like, hey, good for you. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know, I just want to eat the foods.
Yeah. It works out for both of you.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
If it keep me on this earth a little longer, then I'm good with that. Okay.
Yeah. Very healthy. Yeah. She sounds like a good woman.
Oh, she's a very good woman. Sometimes. That woman crazy
good
too.
All the time.
She's crazy too. Okay. Don't let it fool you now.
No. Well, guys, before we go, if you've got any questions for Mr. Johnson, or girls too, on anything, I guess, relationships.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
quite right.
Yeah.
And Mr. Johnson, we always ask everyone the same question before we say goodbye.
Okay.
It's about YouTube. What do you think, if you could boil down everything that you and Sean and the others have learned on your YouTube journey so far and offer it as a piece of advice to someone else? I know we've given lots of great advice. Sean's given lots of great advice. But if there was just one thing that you would say is essential to being a good YouTuber, what do you think that is?
I would say always be willing to adapt and grow. Okay. So if your channel ain't doing well, or you don't see the growth that you want, if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, you're crazy. Okay. So you got to be willing to say what is not working, what's working. And you can look as simple as your videos and see what's working, what's not working. The other thing is the networking. The networking has been great because I've learned so much from you all. And I learned from everybody. You know, half the time Sean tell me he just watch y'all videos. He don't even go into the Facebook groups. Y'all video pop up on his feed. He just start watching everybody videos. You know, he's like, oh, these my friends. I mean, see how they doing today. You know, and just watching. You know, so that's kind of the journey. It has to be one of growth. It has to be, you got to be willing to adapt and change. And that's the same thing for doing YouTube as it is any business or any enterprise that you find yourself doing. Okay.
Good advice then,
Great
Mr. Johnson, as always. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And please say thank you to Sean too. He was good as well.
Yeah, he was okay. He okay.
He's all right.
He ain't me though, you know. So I've been around the block a few times, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
No, you know, he need to learn a few things from him.
Absolutely, absolutely. These youngsters.
I see you lurking over there, boy. I see you lurking over there. Okay. All right. He give me that. He give me the stank eye. What they call it, the stank eye.
Yeah.
You know, don't side eye me, boy. Don't side eye me. Okay.
I think they're gonna have some words after we say goodbye.
So, yes,
well, we got a little feelings hurt, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he had his turn.
He'll be straight.
Yes, well, thank you so much, honestly, to everyone who came along and participated in the chat today. You've been amazing. And even if you've just been watching, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, we'd love it if you gave this video a like. That would be fantastic. And as I said before, go and check out Sean and Mr. Johnson and the others over at the Simsational Gent.
Okay, thanks everyone.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.